people in comatose states are known to have some awareness. Those caring for them sometimes communicate with them as if they could hear. Now we have care words that were recorded and played through headphones into people who are comatose. The words are spoken into the person's inner awareness, trying to help them reach new resource. I had this inspiration to work with people in coma. And there was a book published by Shambhala Publications in 1984 by a brilliant psychiatrist called Arnold Mandel. And he did some wonderful work with coma, going into getting trust from families because he was a psychologist and psychiatrist. He could do this. And he was working with people in coma very personally. He used to get into bed with them. This was on the West Coast. And he had some brilliant insights on how to work with the inner awareness of people in coma. So one thing we have seen is that if our fundamental nature is non-dual, unconditioned awareness, that exists as kind of inner awareness with people in coma. There is something there. Jung said in 1965, in the last book he published, there's a chapter called Life After Death, and he said that the most astonishing, he used the word astonishing, observation he had in all his clinical medical career, which was more than 50 years, was in states of coma where the cerebral cortex had been acutely injured in an accident, and there was nothing functioning in the cerebral cortex, or where a brain disease like Alzheimer's disease had brought the brain into a state of virtual collapse. He found a remarkable sense of what he called a persistent sense of subjective consciousness, which he felt was clearly able to perceive externally as well as have profound dream states. He called that sense of the tendency for a continuity in consciousness, even in those conditions, a possible disclosure of awareness after death, and that it could be a real key to the survival of consciousness after death. Fundamental awareness that is unobstructed in us, primal awareness, is untouched. So what you want to try to do, if you want to relate to those people, I created a track to go inside and speak to the inner awareness. Carefully worked on it. Actually, it was a project in this community. There were musicians who worked with me and a sound engineer, and we produced a cassette. And because I had done good work in the hospitals, they let me do this with a few people, where I was able to play a text into their mind, and I'll read it to you. It's always been the time. It's always been the time of miracles in no time and miracles in time. It's hot life on electric earth. We're blazed and tested by the light of life. We're blazed and tested by the light of death. Some come through like diamond, deathless. Others turn away from their light. Some break through all interference, and their life dynamic takes charge. Life force comes alive in them. They come alive inside. They are a force of change. This is music for a new kind of sight. This is music for a new kind of speech. This is music for a new kind of life. You can hear it in the action you beat. You can go into the goodness of your light. There's no stopping the world from evolving. There's no stopping the life the new world has to give. Earth is absolutely charged with life, and it pulses with the charge into space. This is music for a new charge of life. This is music for a new vital blaze. Come to life now. Blaze with life now. Blaze inside out. Now is the time. Now is the time. I'm Robert Bruce Newman. For more information about my work and my books, please visit medigrace.org and calmbirth.org.